A one, a two, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Happy Turkey Week, people. That's what I'm calling it. Turkey Week. That's a we that's not right.
My mom always made crow.
We hit 3 games this Thursday, so make sure the good beer is already cold so that you can drink the good stuff before people come over for the early noon game, right? Because my parents aren't coming till like 3 or 3:30, so I got a whole game to myself.
To drink?
Yes, to get ready for them.
I see.
They're coming over.
Yeah.
The house will already be ready, but I won't be ready until I have the beers.
Right. That makes sense.
I'm Kyle Gagne here with co-host Mike Heinisch.
Hello again.
Together we are Fantasy Brews, and we're here to talk football and maybe assist you along the way with some fantasy advice. Go follow us on Twitter at FantasyBrewsPod, and just hit that subscribe button on your podcast platform, and maybe leave a review. I don't know. Tell us how we can improve for your sake. I pointed at the mic, and I don't know why I did that, but
he really wants to
just know that I pointed at you.
Dave.
We're also joined today by Jake Depius. Jake, say hi.
Hello.
That's him. Jake and I went to middle and high school together, and he's now in both my redraft league and Mike's dynasty league.
Yeah, buddy.
He's my only win of the season in my redraft league, so he has that honor. But I might beat Mike's wife tonight.
But time will tell.
Yep. I'll try to beat her in fantasy football, too.
Good luck.
I have a chance. I need Brady and the Bucs D to get like 35.
It's uncomfortably within the realm of possibilities.
What's everyone doing for Thanksgiving? What are you doing?
Nothing as of right now.
Giving thanks?
I'll think about it.
Thanksgiving.
You're doing nothing?
Most likely not. The family is hesitant with like the COVID stuff with grandparents and things like that still. So
Jackie and Natalie aren't allowing us to see each other for a week and a half afterwards because we're seeing our families.
Yeah, we'll see our
So I have to like
families
freaking home quarantine basically.
Zoom football on Sunday?
Everyone?
Yeah, man. Well, I don't know. But yeah, I think my parents and my sister and brother-in-law and baby are coming over. That's it.
Nice. We're going by Natalie's parents, and I forget if anyone else is coming outside of her siblings, and they're like Spice and children.
They're Spice?
Spouses?
Spouse.
Spousies?
Spice.
Let's
go with Spice.
I think Spice is more fun.
Spouse. I got it.
So
it's just spouses, right?
It's probably spouses, but within the context of the
I'm looking it up just to make
structure.
sure. Plural of spouse. Spelled weird, by the way.
Plural spouses.
Species.
A person in a marriage or marital relationship. I feel like it should be Spice, though.
I like spices. That seemed like a way better reference.
Spicy.
All right, you picked the beer today. We're having Hazy Rabbit India Pale Ale from Lakefront Brewery. And Mike, why'd you pick this beer?
Yes, I like rabbits. So Hazy Rabbit has a rabbit on the...
Who's your favorite rabbit?
Bugs Bunny is my favorite rabbit.
Bugs Rabbit.
Or is he a bunny? Is there a difference between bunnies and rabbits? Look it up! No,
I can't... Can I... Bunny versus rabbit.
But yeah, I mean, Hazy Rabbit, it's an IPA. It's pretty good. Just to like randomly describe it, I would say it's a ripe citrus and tropical fruit flavors saturate every juicy swig. I phrased that wrong.
Real beer connoisseur just reading exactly what the box says.
No, it's pretty good though. I like.
Well, you're gonna have to look up if there's a difference between rabbit and a bunny because I can't connect to your internet. So I'm restarting my laptop.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Justin Tucker update though. I can do that. 3 field goals and 1 extra point in the loss to the Titans. They just keep losing. 86 points on the year, going for the 5th consecutive year of 141 points. What do you think? Do you think he's going to get it? Have you been following Justin Tucker?
I have been.
I just think it's such a cool thing, and it's very doable.
I feel like the fact that you guys are watching it, he's going to come up like a point or two short, or he's going to go over by like just barely, but it's still going to keep it close the whole time.
He'll hear from us.
I'm sure he'll be waiting.
We're going to berate him. If I don't know how. Not physically. It's not going to be physical harm to Justin, but we will tweet you a lot Not bad things, just like disappointing. How disappointed we are.
We're not mad.
We're not mad. We're just disappointed. All right, ready? At the same time. 3, 2, 1. Keep it up, Tuck. Damn it.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Wait.
Is that the one we always do?
I don't know which one we always do. I think we just switch, but we're never on the same page. We have a 50-50 shot.
What the Tuck? This just in. A rabbit is a small mammal, and a bunny is a small rabbit.
Is a bunny just a baby rabbit?
You can remember this because bunny and baby both start with B.
And adult and rabbit both start with R. Well, that's good to know. I think
so. I really think it's Bugs Rabbit then, right?
Well, you don't know how old he is.
He's pretty old.
Might be Bugs Rabbit.
He's been around for years.
Yeah, but they've
lower
Bart Simpson's been 10 for 30 years.
That's true. So is Ash Ketchum.
Moving on away from this, we're Googling too many things today already. Interesting. I think I should have known that bunny's just a baby rabbit.
Can a bunny kill another bunny? Yes, rabbits can kill other wild rabbits.
No, it's illegal.
Sometimes deliberately.
Bunny murder?
It is not unheard of for a buck to kill baby rabbits to encourage the...
Okay, now just stop. Now you're just talking about like the food chain.
I'm closing the tab. I closed the tab.
Today's episode, we're going to start, as always, with some facts, stats, recap the highlights of Week 11, then hit you with the news updates. I'm going to continuously try to connect to Mike's Wi-Fi, being unsuccessful. After that, Jake has a little game for us involving draft picks, so Mike and I probably will look like idiots. I feel like actual draft, in real life, is like what we're probably worst at.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you're saying that, because I assumed you'd be good.
No, I don't pay attention to the draft. I usually don't even watch. I watched this year just because it was COVID and I had nothing else to do.
At the risk of embarrassing myself, I won't know any of that. I don't think I'll be very good at it, except I did look up for one of our stats in an earlier episode. I looked up something about Michael Thomas and where he was. I shouldn't.
Crap. Don't use that one.
He's not on any.
Good.
He was like
no
the
advantage.
sixth receiver in his draft, like Josh Doxson went before him and a couple other names that were like, oh. But yeah, anyways.
I don't know. I don't pick, because that's like the least fantasy relevant thing. Like, who cares when they were drafted? If they're putting up fantasy points, they're putting up fantasy points.
Yeah, it matters.
So it'll be difficult for us, I feel like.
For rookies, it matters like where they go, and it can matter a little bit like when, like what round at least, because like you draft a running back in the second round as opposed to the fifth, you're gonna probably see what you got or give them a longer leash or something. But
then we'll give you our Week 12 highs and lows, our prop block of the week, and our Pro Bowl selections. Do they like have a plan for the Pro Bowl this year?
It's online. They're playing Madden.
Oh, come on. Seriously? But wait, like the selected Pro Bowl players are playing Madden, or just anyone is?
I think it's going to be like a select, like would-be captain from each team is going to play the Pro Bowl.
I thought I saw it was going to be in Florida. And they're like, as of now, we're still going to have something.
Them playing Madden sounds a lot better than a lot of other horrible ideas I could imagine them coming up with.
That's just so strange. I don't know. Okay, well, we'll talk about the people we want to watch play Madden.
They should do one of those like Fortnite Pro-Ams. I haven't done one of those in a while. They like take 50 Pro Bowlers and put them up with a bunch of streamers and shit. I don't know.
And well, then after that, we're going to wrap things up with a special edition of Bruce Clues. So give your fact or your stat.
Okay.
And there you have the facts of life. The facts of life.
Mine's really quick this week. I didn't know what to search for. I couldn't find like how often, if at all, this has happened in the past outside of kind of recently. But in Week 10, the Bengals allowed 3 different receivers to have a top 12 fantasy finish on the week. So the Bengals played the Steelers. Deontay Johnson was the number 5 receiver that week. Chase Claypool was the number 8 receiver, and Juju Smith-Schuster was the number 12 receiver. So I don't know if that has ever happened. I feel like it's probably happened, a few other times before. I couldn't find anything, but that's pretty fucking crazy. Like they let 3 top 12 receivers. That's nuts. Poor Bengals.
Didn't they lose like a couple big guys at the beginning of the season? I think some opt-outs and some like injury right before the season started, which made their defense.
Cornerback Trey Waynes was one of them.
I mean, but would he? To be fair, he probably would have been better than what they have. They
invested some money in their defense this offseason, if I recall, and yeah, it's been And I don't know, it was like, I feel like it's a mesh of like the struggling Bengals defense coupled with like how many other teams even have three receivers that could all be in the top 12 in a single game. There's probably not too many. Bucks maybe, but
Go Bucks.
The Steelers did it.
Okay, mine. This is in regards to just the first 10 weeks. We haven't finished week 11 technically while recording yet.
Correct.
The Bucks still have to beat the Rams tonight. But quarterbacks are completing passes at the highest rate through the first 10 weeks in NFL history. They are currently completing 65.7% of passes, and if this stays, it'd be throughout the full season. It'd be the full season record as well. And I looked back to see look at just all past years, see if there are any crazy ones. And apparently this is nothing new. Apparently it just consistently, it starts in the 30s for the rankings, and it just gradually, basically almost year by year, just continuously goes up and up. And the top 5 in order are 2020, 2018, which has 64.9% for reference to the record, 2019, 2016, and then 2015. And the very lowest was in 1934 with a 31.4% completion rate. Would you watch that? Would you watch that football? Oh, this quarterback went 10 for 30. Well, pretty good game. Pretty good game.
Hall of Famer right there.
Damn.
I mean, back then you also have to assume they're run heavy too, so
I was going to say the same thing.
they're probably doing 20 passes a game.
Right. Yeah,
But
it's definitely become a more pass-focused league. Kind of
the lowest, most recent year, honestly, was 2000. It was 21st, so 58.2%. But it just goes through the 90s and 80s and 70s going backwards, basically in order. And I really don't know how to interpret it, besides that they realized that completing more passes scores more points or something like that.
I guess. The math caught up.
Well, the game changes so much, too. I feel like it's hard to... It's one thing where basketball has changed so much where now it's all about the three-pointer. But football's hard to change. You got two options: run, pass.
Yeah,
you can't really.
Right.
You can't change too much of that. You can't do a 3-point
you can throw in a run pass option.
run. Ooh, run pass. Yeah, but then there's still only two choices in that: it's run or pass. But I don't know. That's just something to think about. Maybe quarterbacks are just better.
Yeah, I don't know what it.
Well, back in the day, they were all kickers too.
Yeah, we learned that kind of recently. Everyone was kicking.
But let's go over some highlights of the Week 11. Steelers, of course, staying undefeated after they basically wiped the floor with the Jaguars, which was no surprise to anybody at all. Lutton finally showed his true colors, and he's not good.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
He's not the answer to anything there. 4 interceptions and 151 yards.
It was the Steelers? Question mark?
I still think, I don't care who you are, that's a terrible game.
Yeah.
I don't care who you're playing.
It's true.
I don't know what they do. Minshew may be starting next week. They don't know what they're doing. I think they've given up on the season, obviously. But what would you do? We've talked about this before. I don't know. Are they going to draft someone? Do they stick with Minshew a year? I don't know. Change their coaching?
I feel like they have to go coach because Minshew's too young to just give up on him.
Yeah.
I think his first year was just it was a good season, and knowing they didn't have much of a team, he was impressive enough that way, I think, which is why they kind of tried to ride him out, But
Lutton, it's not better than Minshew, I think it's shown. Neither of them are winning, so that's not one thing to compare.
Yeah.
Minshew does have a win.
Yeah.
The win.
Against the Colts.
Yeah, I don't get this season.
It really stinks, because if they end up getting the first overall pick, I feel like it's hard to not grab Trevor Lawrence unless you...
They have to... No, they got to go defense then, because they got rid of all their defensive players. They got no one right now.
What they really should want is just to, be the second pick or something. Right there. But
I feel like they tried to go for a throwaway season, and then James Robinson ended up being a lot more than they expected, and kept them in some games.
Well, if they end up getting the number 1 pick, then they could trade it for even if they get a 4th or 5th rounder out of it, trade it to the Colts the Jets. Just swap first rounders and get something else thrown in there, just so now we're for sure not taking him.
Maybe they can give it to the Bears, and the Bears can move up a spot to draft a crappy quarterback.
Just talking about draft quick, do you think Trevor Lawrence pulls out if the Jets get first pick?
No, because I've seen stuff on that. I don't think he does, because...
I mean, chances are they still might get it the next year either.
Yeah.
But
the answer to your question is dependent upon the answer to another question, and you can't look it up, but is Adam Gase still the coach at that point in time? Because
I think for some reason he is, because I think they don't want to admit how stupid they are for hiring him.
Mhm.
So they're going to stick it out.
But like if they stick it out the whole year and then they fire him at the end of the year and you have a new coach going into the draft this season or something, maybe that helps. I don't know.
Think they're going to wait to the end of the season to fire Gase? Like,
At this point, I
maybe
don't think
he
I've fired him
gets,
yet.
because they are mathematically eliminated from playoffs. They're the first team to mathematically get eliminated from playoffs, so their season's over already.
So
Fire.
now they
So fire.
So I was either they do it now or they wait till the off season and
Everyone
then
always-
just bring in a new coach to do whatever they want.
Yeah. The more time, the better, right? With a new coach. But everyone just keeps saying they want to keep him around, so they end up getting that first overall pick for sure. So maybe he sticks around and then they can him after week 17.
Sure, let him hang out for a while.
I looked it up. He's still got a job.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, they lost to the Chargers, which made them mathematically eliminated from playoffs by one possession. Again, Chargers not only losing games by one possession, but winning them by one possession. And I want Herbert with a beautiful game, 366 and 3 touchdowns. Have you jumped off the Joshua Kelly train yet?
Yeah, I'm off the stupid train.
I don't know why you got on that train.
Because of the first 2 weeks, it was like I just saw my third round, pick actually like looking not horrible, and then after that he's like, "Hey, just kidding, I'm horrible." Now he's like, he is not like Eckler was gone, and then he's like, "Oh, they'll try him over Justin Jackson," and then Justin Jackson's like, "Just kidding, I'm better than he is." And then they signed Kalen Ballage off the practice squad or whatever the hell, and they give him, he's doing better. So yeah.
And then also in that game, shout out to Frank Gore. Got his first touchdown of the season and now has scored a touchdown in 3 consecutive decades.
Oh, whoa!
So good on you, Grandpa.
That's cool.
PJ Walker getting the Panthers the win in the shutout versus the Lions. His first NFL win in his first start. 258, touchdown, 2 picks. Nah, it's all right. Nah. I just like his story, how he was on the Colts practice squad, and Andrew Luck really liked him and told his dad, and that his dad had something to do with the XFL.
Yeah,
and
one
then
of the coaches there.
He told his dad to grab him, and then he lit it up when the season was actually happening. And just went back into the NFL. I like his story. I kind of like the Panthers.
The Lions since 2009, I think, or something.
Yeah, the Lions. Well, I don't know what they were doing. I mean, they were missing their 2 best players.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then we can talk about the NFC East diaper barge. The Eagles lose to the Browns. The football team beats Cincy, and the Cowboys beat the Vikings. So now the Eagles are on top at 3-6-1.
And it's a 3-way tie for second.
3-7.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's so gross that this is an NFL division.
Do you think they change the rules for playoffs again? If a team that's 5 and something makes one of them has to make it, right?
They just need to make an executive decision and just be like, none of you make it. Give it to a deserving team. Panthers. Give it to the Panthers or the Vikings.
Nah, that's the second one.
You'd rather watch any of those 4 teams in the playoffs than the Vikings?
From that angle, no, yeah, definitely. Dalvin Cook deserves it.
And because that's just a throwaway game. At least the Vikings could have a boom game where they win.
Right.
None of those teams are winning a game in the playoffs. They're all no way. I'll put $5 down on whoever that wins that division to win the Super Bowl, and I'll be a millionaire for that.
Yeah, you absolutely should.
Some revenge games this past week. Seahawks tie up the season against the Cardinals, and the Chiefs do the same against the Raiders. I'm just excited for the playoff. Those are 2 matchups I could see in the playoffs again, which would be awesome matchups.
Absolutely. Chiefs Raiders was a lot of fun.
It was. I know. I got a lot of points out of it. I had Hill and Waller playing.
Yeah.
So it was very rewarding for me.
I hated it.
Oh.
I lost on the last touchdown of the game with a Mahomes to Kelsey to take me out in our Dynasty League.
That's
Damn.
brutal.
Last
play of the game.
My team showed up this week in Dynasty. I've been ripped apart with injuries. So I lost Sutton at the beginning of the year. I've lost Eckler for the whole out in the year. I had CJ Uzuma on IR. And then this past week I had David Johnson out and then DeAndre Swift out. So I ended up starting Brashad Perriman and Tim Patrick in my 2 flex spots. I got 12.4 and 14.4. So I was super happy that worked out. I don't know if I lucked out. And I had to start Phillip Lindsay as my running back number 2.
That's rough.
But he got me 8.2 points. He also lost me the game last week because I shouldn't have started him. But this week I didn't have a choice. My choice was Phillip Lindsay or Alexander Mattison. I made the right choice.
Yeah.
But
I had a good week. I think I'm going to be in first place now because I'm beating the guy who's in first place. We're both going to be 9-2. We're 1-1 against each other, but we still have tonight to play. I think I do. I don't know if he does, but I have 6 points more for.
no, he's got people to play. You don't.
Oh yeah, Brady is. I was thinking of Brady, who I didn't start.
He's
So
got
okay, so I probably won't be in first. Then he'll probably have the tiebreaker. I assume. Who does he have? Oh yes,
I'm his only loss so far this season.
yeah. If Robert Woods gets more than 6 points, I'll be in second still. Started the wrong quarterback. Fucking Matt Ryan. Stupid.
And then last but kind of least, Wisconsin still hates MVS. People are being harsh on him. I get it, but like people are. This is the religion here is the Packers.
He just started doing good stuff. He
I know.
got us on that fourth and something or whatever on that start of that drive. He like got a big catch.
I feel like he's just getting that Bostic treatment.
Yeah,
That Bostic.
Well,
guy.
Bostic was next day. You're off the team.
Yeah.
You blew the. Well, that was in playoffs too, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Playoffs.
That was a little more.
And that wasn't the only reason. Like there were a lot of things that happened at the end of that game that contributed to a horrible loss.
But yeah, MVS, people finally started getting on the side because he had 200 yards, over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns in the previous 2 games. Now he fumbles away the ball in overtime to set up the game, losing field goal to the Colts. And I think everyone's just thankful Lazard's coming back. Like, he barely did anything this past game, 2 catches, but still, it's a start. And once he's fully back, MVS can fade away to the shadows again.
I don't know. I guess about other Packer fans. I'd be curious for your opinion, but I don't hate him, but I'm not fond of him. Like it's like a love and hate relationship. Like he keeps doing really great things and he keeps doing really awful things.
I think he had his chance once, like, Geronimo Allison left.
Yeah.
Like, he was supposed to be, like, the guy, and then Lazard came out of nowhere last year to, like, prove to be the number 2 and then went down early. So it was, like, MVS's chance to come back again, and
I feel
it just didn't really happen for him.
There's no way he's on the Packers next year. Like, they need to do something in free agency / the draft, obviously. Like they should have done this year.
Right.
And then they'll have opt-out
Devin Funchess.
who is better than MVS.
Probably.
He should be.
And I feel like MVS is going to get it. Bye.
I feel like the last few games, like there's multiple moments where you see Rodgers just like scowling from something he did, and then multiple moments where you see him like ecstatic for something he did.
Well, it's because it's a gamble every time he throws to him. It's like, oh shit, I don't know what's going to happen.
But like, man, like it's not like he missed like a deep bomb that like could have won us the game or something. Like he just fumbled a stupid ass like short little pass or something. Like,
let's go. Well, let's talk some of the news updates. Getting updates as they happen. A lot have happened in just the past couple hours. First one, biggest one, of course, Joe Burrow tore his ACL, out for the rest of the season. That sucks for Bengals fans and really the league as a whole because they were out. They're not making playoffs. And these games are like the ones that really matter for rookies because it doesn't really matter. There's no consequence if you lose.
right.
And you can try stuff. You can really get the experiences. So that sucks that he's missing that part. It's not to say it's not competitive anymore, but it's more open to risks. I don't know.
He's having a great rookie year, and the more recent news update that came through, I'm trying to remember the details, like it was his ACL and his MCL
And something else that was more serious than
a
expected.
lot of structural damage. I don't know if that changes like him being back for next year or not or anything. I didn't read that, but yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, I think Herbert now all but has Rookie of the Year after that. I think I honestly was on Herbert over Burrow anyways.
I was kind of leaning that way, just kind of looking at things, but it was still at least a competition. No, I don't think it will be.
Who's your Rookie of the Year?
I figure it has to be Herbert. I mean, I don't know who else would even be, like,
James
in consideration
Robinson.
for it. He would be the only one. I mean, they're not going to give it to, like, Chase Young as a defensive player, and obviously Tua got pulled last
Justin
game.
Jefferson.
So, I think he would be one of the only ones that have a chance, I think.
Yeah.
It's also one of those things, I think, where a quarterback just,
They just have more opportunities for it.
Yeah. I know. I kind of wish there was like there's MVP, but then there's offensive player of the year, which is usually not a quarterback, but still, like MVP is just so easy to get as a quarterback.
Right.
You got so many more options to prove you're an MVP. Whereas the other ones, you have to be like chosen. Like, I don't know when the last time a wide receiver won MVP, but
Randy Moss or something? Did he win?
Oh no,
Or
Randy Moss didn't win it. Son of a bitch. He never even led the league in receiving yards.
Oh, sorry.
Remember that fact?
Oh,
Neither did Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, that's right. I do remember you saying that now.
Do you even listen?
It was weeks ago. That was probably a month and a half ago.
Yeah, but Ryan Finley now set up to do nothing of value for fantasy people. And I feel like all of their receivers kind of drop in value as well. Sorry, T. Higgins people, but you're not going to be getting that same stuff anymore.
Oh, that's like my dynasty team going in. Like I should.
If
be
anything,
okay, but...
AJ Green gets a bump up because he's established at least.
I was
fully.
just gonna say, as part of that, is AJ Green for sure out the door now? Like, there's no way he's there next season.
I didn't think he was going to be anyways.
Yeah, I would.
I don't think he wants to stick around with all those young guys. He wants to be like, okay, let me get to a team that is like guaranteed playoffs. Because
millennial.
Bengals could still not be a playoff team for 2-3 years, but we'll see.
I am excited for Burrow and Higgins like long term though. I think that's going to be a good, like a popular quarterback receiver duo.
And I'm excited for Justin Jefferson and whoever their quarterback is next year.
Justin Jefferson and anyone.
I mean, he's proven that he can do it with Cousins. I mean, obviously Kirk Cousins isn't the worst quarterback out there, but he's not a good one.
Not an $84 million guarantee.
More injuries. Randall Cobb injured his toe.
Oh,
no.
He will miss time and the Thanksgiving matchup. And we've talked about plenty of times how much value he has as like the third wide receiver on the team. So I think it hurts the Texans, and I think Kiki Kuti is the guy to fill in. And this, like, he's young enough that he can still like revive himself here and show he should be part of the team and everything. But
a touchdown this past week?
Because Cobb got hurt.
Well, no, yeah. I'm backing you up.
But I mean, he does like gets 40 yards a game, kind of like Cobb was doing. That's more than enough for a wide receiver 3 at least.
Yeah, Cooks and Fuller already have their roles defined and all that, so makes sense.
Rex Burkhead, expecting to miss time with knee injury. He had good value in PPR leagues, and I think James White is going to pick up that value. And the Pats are actually somewhat consistent with like their running back roles now. Like their running backs actually have things to do, not just do whatever suits that play, like it normally is. So I'm like, I would be comfortable always starting Damian Harris now. Sony Michel, we'll see what happens. He was activated, but he's off IR, but he was still out.
He was inactive for the game. Right.
So I don't know what they'll do with him, but James White's going to be the receiving back like Burkhead was now. So he gets a bunch of value, I think, in PPR now.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I am really interested. I'm not super concerned, but I'm a little concerned to see I'm really interested to see what happens when Sony Michel is actually active again. And if, like, I think Damian Harris has proven himself to be better, but Sony Michel's not like that old or anything like that. Like, no. So I wonder if they'll split it a bit, or if like, is Damian going to get like 60% of what he was getting with Sony getting 40, or is it going to be a lot more in Damian's favor than that, or who knows?
The Jets, Michael Perrine is going to miss a few weeks, so that doesn't matter to anyone. It might matter to us because we might go pick up Frank Gore again in Twitter League because we're hurting bad. But
our first win with fucking Frank Gore and Adrian Peterson as our 2 starting running backs.
We're that good. Woo! Adam Thielen just got placed on the reserve and COVID list, but he's got plenty of time to clear that up. But it's something to watch. Greg Olsen on injured reserve from the Seahawks, and Disley gets a little pickup. I like Disley last year before he had the injury.
I don't know what I'd be curious to see what his like involvement has been so far.
I've seen him a fair amount, not a huge amount, but decent enough.
He hasn't seen more than 2 targets in any game except for week 7. I mean, granted, this is before that injury. Yeah, I mean, maybe it helps. I wouldn't be like trying to pick up a start Will Disley, at least now without seeing it. But
with how tight ends are this year, it might be worth it actually, because the tight ends are a buck a piece.
And Will Disley has been really good. He's had now 2 back-to-back like really bad injuries. So it's good to even see him playing. But yeah, maybe get some uptick. I wouldn't be interested in starting him, but maybe if you got a spot to spare, you can pick him up and see what happens.
And then Mark Ingrams and J.K. Dobbins tested positive for COVID and are out for the Thanksgiving match against the Steelers. Gus Edwards would be a decent flex start, but keep in mind they're still playing the Steelers.
Yeah.
And that could be difficult. But it's in a lot of leagues, you won't have many options. And start him. I don't think there's any other real news. There's always news popping up, and I'm sure someone will randomly get a concussion and be marked out after the waivers already ran for the day. God damn it, DeAndre Swift. Thank God I won on matchup because I was going to pick up Carlos Hyde. I was considering it. And then our waivers run at 11 a.m. And I think the news came out at like 1 o'clock that Swift is out for with a concussion. I'm like, I don't have another starting running back. Like, I'm screwed. But it turned out I still won.
Des Bryant caught 4 footballs.
I know, I saw that. That's pretty good. I think he dropped one too.
That would make up the 5 targets. Perfect.
Let's move on and let's play this draft game. So you explain it, and then we will listen to you explain it, and then we will follow the explanation.
All right, so I will give you the year and the position.
Oh, I need a pencil.
And then I will give you 3 players that were drafted in that year, and you need to put them in order for me.
Okay, we got the rules.
All right.
And we're playing for a case of beer.
Yep. We decided on that a week ago.
Alcoholic beer. No NAs.
Damn.
Okay.
Do they make cases of NA beer?
They make like 12 packs.
Play that at Rackable Duels, please.
They make like a 12 pack. I don't know. Okay, let's do it.
All right, so we'll start a little more recent for kind of people that are probably in your head already. So we're going 2020 draft.
I watched most of this one.
Looking at receivers,
Wide?
the wide ones.
Okay.
Please put these 3 in
Don't
order.
look at mine.
I'm trying to like block you with this, but also write so you can't see mine.
Okay.
Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, and Henry Ruggs III.
Okay, I think I have my order.
I think I do too. But I gotta double think it. I think I'm right.
Did you double think it?
I did. I thought
Wait,
twice.
can I Google stuff?
That's not fair. My internet doesn't work. My internet's not going. You can't Google.
I feel like that would be cheating.
Okay, I think I got my answer. Wait, yeah. Did you number yours and write it down?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's number 1?
Should we say it at the same time, or how do we do it?
We can do that. Say it at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, who's the first receiver?
Ruggs.
Ruggs.
Yep,
Judy.
I said CeeDee Lamb.
Judy.
Yes, and
Those
Lamb.
were the ones I was like...
Because Mike McCarthy got a huge erection when it was their time.
When he fell to him, yeah.
And I knew Lamb was like... I knew Ruggs for some reason went first.
Yeah. I knew
Nobody
that.
knew why.
I should have trusted my gut, which was saying that Broncos probably had a better pick than the Cowboys.
I didn't even think of it that way, but now I'm going to think of it that way. Thank you.
Right.
I just kind of knew this one, and
Yeah.
I didn't think of it like
Okay.
thinking of the teams.
So we'll give Kyle the point on that one. Just to try and make it still somewhat easy, we're going to do 2020 receivers again.
Woo! Ooh, was the Packers one going to be on there?
Last.
All right.
Non-existent.
So we have T. Higgins, Justin Jefferson, and Claypool.
Okay.
Oh man, this one's hard.
I feel less confident than the previous one that I got wrong, so that's a good sign.
You guys both
Okay.
ready?
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay. First receiver.
Jefferson.
Yep. Second receiver.
Chase
Higgins?
Claypool.
Higgins.
Yeah! This is my chance!
Woo!
Ah, rats.
All
Who
right.
was third?
Chase Claypool. I had that one right too.
Oh, man.
Woo! All right. We were on. I remember you watched this too because we were talking on the headset playing PlayStation.
Did we watch the second day? Oh, I think we did.
No.
All right.
Just like
no.
half these guys.
I don't think I did.
All right. So now we're going to skip here. We're going to go 2018
And now we're gonna get them all wrong.
quarterbacks.
Well, Mike already got them all wrong.
Get out of
Okay.
here.
Your quarterbacks are
6 right.
Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold.
Think I got it.
Oh fuck! Hold on.
I have numbers written down. I'll say that
Um,
much.
That is a start.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Okay. First pick.
Rosen.
Rosen.
Wrong.
No! Is it Darnold?
It is Darnold. He was the number 3 pick that year.
Oh, man.
Who did you guys have as 2?
Well, I'm gonna switch it to Rosen.
They will be wrong.
No!
So Allen was second. Rosen was last?
Yes. So that year was
Why
Darnold,
did I think
Allen,
Rosen was,
Rosen.
like, first?
3, 7,
was
10.
Dang. That's
Why did I think Rosen was like 1?
What is your... I had Rosen, Darnold, Allen.
I had Rosen, Darnold, Allen.
Damn.
Okay, well, that...
No one got that one. That's fair enough.
Do you give effort points?
No.
Damn.
We don't consider it.
I put more effort into it.
I can tell, though.
Well, there's no
That's why we
points.
can't give it out.
Because I'd be winning by too
So
much
we're-
already.
My guess is always the order you list.
So we're going to stick in 2018, and we're going to go receivers now.
We did so well on quarterbacks.
That's why we're going back to receivers. It is Cortland Sutton,
I like him.
Calvin Ridley,
I do not care for him much.
DJ Moore.
Oh, God. This is hard. This one's really hard because it's like 2 years ago.
That's how that works.
Sutton, Ridley, Moore. Oh, God.
Is that your order?
No, that's the order he said it, so is that your order?
No.
Okay,
Ready?
I guess.
Mike?
I'm ready.
All right. First receiver.
Ridley.
No.
The Rats!
Who'd you guys have as a second receiver?
DJ
Sutton.
Moore.
No.
It was Ridley, probably. Damn.
It was DJ Moore, Calvin Ridley, Cortland Sutton.
I didn't get any of those.
They
I
were
had
picks.
Sutton as the third guy.
They were picks 24, 26, and 40.
Damn.
Wow.
See, that's why I didn't know it, because I didn't know where any of them were drafted.
But if you had known them, then where they were, then you probably would have got it right.
I feel like we're just going to be going way downhill from here on out then.
Well, hey, I got the first two right, and
I
that's
could get a
all
couple
that
of-
matters.
You might get a couple good guesses in.
The
So now
ones are valued more.
we're going a year prior, 2017 receivers.
You said
God.
Terrell Pryor. No, I'm just kidding.
We have Cooper Kupp, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Chris Godwin.
I have no reference. Oh my God, I honestly have no clue. This is... I knew we'd be bad.
You guys started out so strong, though.
Especially you, Kyle. It's so sad. The very first one I was so upset about.
Okay, I have an answer.
You both got an answer down?
Yep.
Okay, first receiver,
Godwin.
Cooper Kupp.
Yes!
That's what I had.
Second receiver,
Juju.
yes.
Yeah!
And then Godwin.
I had Godwin and Cup switched.
Juju is number 2.
Yes, I got that right, so that's a point.
And I got 3 points and we're tied.
No, then I got more
Wait,
points.
you would have one more point.
Damn
No,
it!
we'd be tied.
I'm so bad. I got 2020 right. Shit.
All right, so then we're going same 2017. Wow. Running backs. We have Chris Carson, Aaron Jones, James Conner.
I know this
None of these guys were starters when they were drafted. Their rookie year. So this is hard.
I think I feel pretty good.
17.
I'm going to write down the round I think they were drafted.
I'm going to say first or second. Or third. Fourth, maybe.
You guys both got it?
No.
Okay.
I guess, whatever. I'm going this. Number 1. Nope. Oh, yeah, I'm going with it. I'm sticking with my answer.
Okay, number 1 running back,
Chris Carson.
James Conner. Second.
Oh, okay, wait, what's that?
Why do you know this one?
I don't know.
Second running back.
Jones.
Aaron Jones.
Yep.
Damn it! I had Jones
Woo!
and I had Jones right.
I think, do you have the rounds they were drafted in? Or not?
I have the pick they were. I don't have the rounds.
Okay.
Ugh.
Jones was a 5th round pick, I'm pretty sure. 4th or 5th. And I think Chris Carson was a 6th round pick.
Yeah, I believe so.
And then I think I just wrote 3rd round pick for James Conner. I don't know
Yeah,
for sure.
Conner was 105. Jones was 184. Carson was 252.
I had it. I
Hey,
had
we're
the
tied up, baby.
last two reversed. It's gotta be worth something. Damn it!
Hold
Yeah.
on, Mike. What did you have for 2017 receivers? Because I don't think you had them in order.
Oh, I had Cup, Juju, Godwin.
It is Juju, Kupp, Godwin.
No!
Ah! Take it away, bitch!
Oh, Reds.
I thought you were gonna give my answer. I was gonna be like, I'm swinging it
Well,
this
if
way.
Juju's moved, then you're definitely not ready.
No, I didn't get any of them right then.
So it's 2.
Oh, now we're just getting even further back.
Oh, it's gonna be even
So
worse
this-
somehow.
This is going to be more telling of receivers that are also no longer relevant. So we have a 2014
Oh, Jesus.
wide receiver class.
Oh,
They are Jordan Matthews, Devontae Adams, and Kelvin Benjamin.
oh man,
I don't feel super confident, but I have an order down.
I do too.
Like I said, it's looking more when they used to be relevant back in the
Yeah.
day. So
I'm just thinking of like disappointments. Like
that is the way to
they're
look
more
at it.
disappointing the higher they were picked.
Yes.
That's true.
All right, so the first receiver,
Sometimes not disappointing.
Jordan Matthews.
I put Kelvin Benjamin.
Calvin Benjamin.
Shit!
Second,
Well, now this one's going to be...
Jordan Matthews. Baby.
Yeah. I knew that.
I knew Kelvin Benjamin was a pretty...
I knew Adams was not the...
Adams was like a third round or something?
yep, so Calvin Benjamin was number 28, Jordan Matthews was number 42, Devontae was number 53.
Ooh.
Damn
So
it.
now it is 2-2.
Now we're tied.
Oh, I started out really good, and then I did worse.
I'll get stronger as time goes on.
So now we're going real old school. We're going
1999.
2013 quarterbacks.
Okay, this is, I feel like I'm better at quarterbacks, but
Oh.
I say that now.
Wait until you hear the names.
Oh, God.
We have
Blake Bortles
Mike Glennon,
Oh, no.
to the Bucks,
Geno Smith,
to the Jets,
and E.J. Manuel.
Oh, I
to the
remember that.
Bills.
Mhm.
Okay.
This one I'm more confident in than any of the other previous ones.
Are you serious?
No, I'm fucking lying.
When did Brett Favre play for the Jets? Oh, man, this is like... Okay. All right. I'm wrong, but...
I think I'm ready.
Are you both ready?
Yeah.
Okay, who was the first quarterback?
Geno
Smith.
No.
It was Mike Glennon, wasn't it?
No.
It was the other one then.
That is the other one.
I
So
had Smith, Manuel, Glennon.
I had Smith, Glennon, Manuel.
it went E.J. Manuel, Geno Smith, Mike Glennon. Picks 16, 39, and 73.
I did have Mike Glennon third.
This is like...
So
Can we do more 2020s?
Nope.
Because I'm pretty good at those ones.
I know you would be.
2020
Oh, crap.
kickers.
We got like 3 more if you guys are ready for them.
Yeah, well, we're tied, so we got to get one of them.
All right.
Otherwise, we don't know.
Should we come up with an emergency tiebreaker if the other three?
No, because I'll just win it, and then we won't
There you go.
deal with it.
No.
We're going even older on quarterbacks, like Kyle said. 2011 quarterbacks. Colin Kaepernick, Andy Dalton, and Tyrod Taylor. You guys ready?
No.
All right.
I don't feel good.
Okay.
All right. Number 1 quarterback.
3, 2, 1,
Tyrod
Dalton.
Taylor.
Andy Dalton.
Shit.
Ooh.
Second quarterback.
That's Tyrod right there.
That is Colin Kaepernick right there.
Ah!
And then Tyrod. It was pick 35, pick 36, and Tyrod was pick 180.
Wow. Damn. Dalton and Kaepernick right next to each other. That's crazy.
Well, we got 2 more, so
Just my
Well, we got to get one of these right, hopefully.
we are going 2010 wide receivers. We have Demaryius Thomas, Dez Bryant, Golden Tate.
Now, I want everyone to know I'm putting my answers down purely on guess.
I'm doing mine alphabetically.
2010. What was going on then, man? I was in high school.
Junior year.
Junior year.
What did it have been senior year?
10
Start
into
2010.
11, yeah.
I have a guess that's going to be wrong.
Do you also have a guess, Mike?
I do. And it actually was alphabetical.
Who is the first receiver?
Demaryius
Brian.
Thomas.
Demaryius Thomas.
Oh,
Don't you do it.
Who is the second receiver?
Des?
Yes.
Yes! And then Golden Tate!
Oh,
Oh, yes.
I had Des, Tate, Thomas.
Oh, man. We have one more?
We have
So I could
one
tie
more,
it,
so Mike could tie it, in which I do have, I think, one more unused
Hey,
one.
just get it wrong.
I'll try.
So we are...
You know I have as much of a chance to get it wrong as... Well, that doesn't make sense.
the same chance to get it wrong as you do get it right. So we are still in 2010, looking at quarterbacks.
Okay, this one I might be
You
okay.
Blake Bortles?
The quarterbacks are Colt McCoy,
Blake Bortles.
Tim Tebow, and Sam Bradford. Mike, you
No.
look
I have a comment.
surprisingly
I'm not.
confident.
Suave.
I'm not
You
ready.
look confident.
I've got to think about one thing. Quick.
Okay.
You can think for 30 more seconds at the cost of 1 point.
Okay, I have a question though. When did Peyton Manning
2010.
win the Super Bowl?
Oh, no, not 2010, because that was
The Packers.
What's his name?
That was
the Packers.
Oh, yeah, Rodgers. That's right.
I've never heard of her.
Hey, if you just say a random year, chances are if you say Brady, you're right.
2015?
Brady.
Is it really? Is it actually?
Yeah, they won in 16.
I hope it's not.
Yeah, didn't they win 15, 16, 18?
I'm not a Patriots fan.
I'm Kyle.
Ah!
Patriots!
Right.
See?
Point.
Was it? They won 3 back-to-back? Oh, no, they didn't. They just won this one. I was like, wait a minute.
Okay. Do you both have an order?
Um,
Oh, Kyle's still thinking.
yeah,
Yeah, you're thinking, or yeah, you got one.
I got an order.
All right. Who is the first quarterback?
My
Say your
alma
answer.
mater,
Say your answer.
Sam Bradford.
Yes, I know that.
He was number 1 overall.
Yes, I knew that one.
Who was the second quarterback?
Colt McCoy.
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow.
Yes!
Woo!
Woo!
I was hoping Tim Tebow might have been. I don't remember when he was drafted. I just was hoping he might have been.
I went
later.
purely off of college that he was huge in college. Colt McCoy was too, but Tim Tebow was bigger, and that alone. I knew Bradford was the number 1 pick, so then after that, I was
Yeah.
purely
Bradford
based off
was
college.
1. Tim Tebow was 25. Colt McCoy was 85.
I think I figured out an earlier. So we were really confused about Josh Rosen, thinking he was super early. I think we were mistaking it was Sam Bradford on the Cardinals.
No, I wasn't.
Me?
I wasn't.
Yeah,
No, I just had it wrong. I just had it straight up. I just had it wrong.
That was like I remember saying I remember a Cardinals quarterback being drafted super early, but I thought it was Rosen, but it was
That
Bradford.
was Kyler
I
Murray.
don't know. if
Kyler
Bradford-
Murray did.
Was Bradford drafted by the Cardinals?
No, Rams.
Rams.
Oh yeah, and then he was on the Vikings for a while. Remember that year where the Vikings had like 3 actual starting quarterbacks?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Who was it? It was him and Bridgewater and
The other white guy.
oh yeah.
No, the other mobile guy.
Oh, I was thinking Case Keenum, so I was not thinking
Was it
mobile
Case?
guy.
What year was that?
I
Let's see.
think he's been on the Vikings.
I don't have internet, but look up like the 2016 Vikings.
Yeah, so that's a more recent year.
Wait, who did they have? They had because then Bridgewater came back and they didn't start him, and I was like, why are you not starting Bridgewater?
I'm still impressed he just went 4-2 in that game.
I
I know a lot of them were probably lucky guesses, but
No, the first 2 were.
the first 2 I
knew.
figured you knew because they were a little more recent.
And then I got the first 2 and the last 2 right, but that was all I needed. In between,
A
don't look at it.
strong start, strong finish. That's all you needed.
I think it was Case Keenum.
Was it Case?
Unless we're thinking Christian Ponder. No, I don't think so.
I feel like no
Yeah,
one
no, that was
remembers
the
him,
Bradford,
so.
Teddy Bridgewater, Case Keenum.
No, it was that year. It was the 2014. It was the Bridgewater Castle Ponder.
That's it.
Because-
Matt Castle.
Yeah.
Other white guy.
Oh,
I
Matt
can't believe
Castle.
we thought
I would not consider
Ponder
him
was
mobile,
good at
though.
Football, I guess.
No.
I think that's what's throwing me off is that, like, looking back, it's really easy to see that Christian Ponder's not a good football player.
Yeah.
Taking shots. Pow.
All right. Well, you owe me another case of beer now. Thanks for more beer.
God damn it.
I'm not going to need to buy my
That
own
was a
for
fun
while.
game, though. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I only got 2 points. I did better than I thought I would. A lot of the ones we got wrong, we were close. Like off by 1.
Well, there was only 3 choices. So
Yeah, I was good.
All right. Well, let's move on to our highs and lows. Jake, you can just feel free to tell us where you think we're wrong or if we're right, or if you got anyone in mind.
Oh, I'd love to.
But quarterbacks, I'm going to start off high with my boy Deshaun Watson because I just wish he had an offensive line. Imagine if he had an offensive line. He's putting up freaking 30-point fantasy games. Imagine if he had an offensive line. He'd be doing so much more.
He technically has one.
Technically. Not strategically or
Of quality.
physically. They're playing the Lions on Thanksgiving, and I expect Watson to do well because I expect a good game out of that. The Texans just beat the Patriots, and the Patriots just beat the Ravens. So a lot of teams don't make sense right now.
Or the Texans are better than the Ravens.
Ravens have been looking kind of garbage.
That's true.
So I expect a good game of it, so I expect a lot of passing to still be involved. And Duke Johnson hasn't done anything really. He's done less than the other D. Johnson. Now that he's out, so Watson's the key, and that's obvious already. But if the Lions get back Galladay and Swift, this should be an even more competitive game. And I mean, Swift was out on a concussion. You'd think he'd be coming back. Galladay has a decent shot, but that would make it that much more better of a game, giving more chance for Watson to rack up points, keeping it competitive. But either way, I'm very high on Watson.
And if they're out, those guys, it's not going to hurt.
That doesn't affect
much,
Watson.
I don't know what to think there because it's a short week playing on Thursday. So,
And I'm going to be low on Lamar Jackson, who is going to have a very average, if not below average day against the Steelers, also on Thanksgiving.
That will be fun. I didn't realize that was a Thanksgiving game. That's going to be fucking awesome. Because what is that Cowboys game? I don't even care because it's the Cowboys, but...
That's the middle game of Thanksgiving.
Cowboys just have to play on Thanksgiving.
They play the Washington football team.
Okay, I like to watch them because of Jerry McLaurin, so...
Well, it's the only game on, so you don't have a choice either.
Mm-hmm.
Last time up against Pittsburgh, he had 208, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, and 2 fumbles. And Jackson, he's been a startable quarterback this year, but he's been average at best. And there's probably a waiver wire play that will get you more points. And if a lot of teams are on the playoff bubble right now, fantasy-wise. And so you may need to start taking risks and feel like starting someone else potentially over Lamar Jackson is a good opportunity for that risk to pay off. Jackson's ceiling is much lower than other quarterbacks this week. His floor isn't bad at all.
Right.
But his ceiling against that Steelers D, which you saw him have struggle against already once this year, nothing's changed for the Steelers D. The Ravens actually have less weapons. They lost a backup tight end, and they're not without Dobbins or Ingram. So I don't see anything really improving there. So I feel like it's going to be another 15-pointer for Jackson, if not less.
He'll probably pass pretty poorly and run for a little more than he, like, without any other running backs. He might have to, but it's not going to be enough. That's going to be a fun game to watch. All right, my high quarterback this week is Justin Herbert versus the Buffalo Bills. The now unquestioned frontrunner for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Keeps impressing. You already said it, but he threw for 366 yards, 3 touchdowns.
I love Herbert.
Picks.
I just really like Herbert. Like he's like of all. I'm a fan of a lot of rookies this year, but Herbert is. I think he's awesome.
Apparently, I didn't realize this.
His haircut,
What? It's short now?
That's the first time he's cut it since his sophomore year of college.
Why? I loved it.
Well, he won, so...
He wins a game, he's like, I'm going to shave my hair off? He's going to run out of hair.
Well, no, he shaved and then he won.
Yeah.
Oh. So he's going to run out of hair.
Not.
I don't know. I like his long hair. But I think he's going to be great. He had a really good game.
He looks like a teenager. He looks like a little teenager.
He is. He's like 20-something.
Right.
21 or something.
You know what teenager means?
So anyway, his really good game was against the Jets, but the Bills aren't really that much better or like the tougher of a matchup. They're second most allowed fantasy points to quarterbacks in the last 3 games they've played. They've played the Patriots and then the Seahawks and the Cardinals, so the matchups have been, aside from the Patriots, they've been pretty good. But the Bills are doing not too much, and I think Herbert's going to take advantage. It's just a good offense, so they're gonna light it up. I don't know if Eckler's on the bubble.
Eckler, I don't think he'll come back this week, but maybe next week.
I don't think they need him for Herbert to have a good game. I think I would just.
I think he'll boost his game a lot because that's. Yeah. I think that's like at least an extra like 30-40 pass yards just flipping it off to your
100%.
Like look, it's better than Josh Kelly.
I think he'll be great even if Eckler's not there, but if Eckler is there, it only helps Herbert as well for sure. And then I'm low on Matt Ryan. The Raiders just the matchup is
it's Matt Ryan.
The Raiders have actually been pretty solid against the fantasy quarterbacks in the last few weeks, like more recently. Although they did actually let up a big game to Justin Herbert. But yeah, no, you guys were laughing, but you're right. I fucking hate Matt Ryan. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, all aboard the fuck
last
Matt Ryan trade.
Screw you, buddy.
It's garbage.
You never know when to start him. Like before, like earlier in the season, it was like, okay, he's good when Julio Jones is there, and he's bad when Julio Jones isn't there. But no, it just turns out he's just unpredictable.
I wonder what team he's going to lead to a sub 500 season next year. Can't wait to see if they're not winning games, and he's got Julio Jones and Ridley, and even Gage and Hooper.
Yeah.
Like, where's he going to go? That's better than that.
He doesn't have Hooper.
Yeah, he does.
Hooper's on the Browns.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
The Hurst.
Yeah, I do have somebody who's
They both moved.
That might be Hurst that's not that good, too, though, in that role.
Hurst was the tight end 2 on his own team last year, and he was doing amazing.
I'm not trying to say Hurst is bad, or that, like, he would be the difference to make Matt Ryan good.
I'd say maybe a downgrade from Hooper.
I would say that for sure, yeah.
But still not bad. Like, Hurst is a good tight end. Doesn't take much to be a good tight end this year.
He was on the Ravens, who mix it up a lot, too. Kind of like the Rams.
Yeah. Running backs, I'm high on Antonio Gibson from the football team.
The one and only.
The Washington one. I'm not picking all Thanksgiving people on purpose. It's just a coincidence, but he's playing Dallas, and last time they played, he had 128 and a tutty, and Antonio Gibson just do it again. It's a division game, and the division is very up for grabs, as you can tell by that dumpster fire. So it should be a good game, not to mention the Cowboys giving up the second most rush yards in the league. I've been watching Antonio Gibson this season. I like him a lot. I think he's going to have another good game.
I don't know if you heard this or not, but like they were talking about how like he wasn't getting much work earlier in the season. He's coming on more now, and a lot of times it's like it was like one of those acclimation things. Like they're trying to be smart about his intelligence of the playbook and stuff like that. And so he's showing it. He's I don't know what his snap percentages are, but I know he's going up. Which is awesome.
And I'm low on Melvin Gordon from the Broncos up against the Saints D, who just completely shut down Todd Gurley. Completely shut him down.
I benched Todd Gurley at the last second.
He was my low guy. You're welcome.
I think I benched for Damian Harris in one of my leagues or something. Or maybe a receiver, but what a good move that was.
Gordon looks good right now just because he got 2 touchdowns against the Dolphins, but the Saints are a very different story defensive-wise. Also note that Lindsey had 1 more carry than Gordon in that Dolphins game. And I said a couple weeks ago that Lindsey should just take over that starting position. He's doing better than Gordon when given the chance. I've always been a fan of Lindsey, never been a fan of Gordon. So when they joined up, you knew which side I was on. But this also brings up something that I want to bring up. Someone on Twitter, I think it was Saturday, or maybe Sunday before the games, they tweeted at us. And that tweet to us said, "Good morning." That was very nice. Very
proper tweet.
They were very nice. Good morning. And it was just straight directly at us. Not even a reply. They just tweeted us, which is great. That was the first time someone just reached out to us. He said, Fulgham or Crowder non-PPR and Gurley or Duke Johnson non-PPR. Go look up how all 4 of those guys did.
Did they? Wait, I think I know this because
did
they all do poorly?
Oh, they all did garbage. Look it up. Look it up. So it was Fulgham or Crowder and Gurley or Duke Johnson. What would you have said? I said it's tough. I'd go Crowder and Gurley because the Eagles' offense is getting crowded now that people are returning, and Duke may get better yardage than Gurley, which he did, but Gurley has been getting a lot of touchdowns. And Fulgham had 1.3.
Oh my God, he had 1 catch for 8 yards. Yeah.
Now look up Crowder.
Crowder, I would have picked over.
Crowder had more points
even though it's not.
Crowder had 2.3.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And now look up Gurley.
8 carries for 26 yards and a catch for 3 yards. So 3.4 total if you're in a half point.
And then Duke Johnson.
Oh no. I probably would have picked.
And Duke Johnson got 5 points. So I just tweeted back at him today. I go, just look back at this to see how it went. I'm so sorry you had to start any of these guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I didn't
make the person. Give him a shout out.
There was no wrong. It's a fantasy football guy.
Hey, there you go, fantasy football guy.
But I mean, there were no wrong answers, but there were no right answers either. So
yeah. There were only. Right
I just felt so bad when I looked up the stats. I was like, oh man, did I give this guy bad advice? But there was no advice worth saving that lineup.
Just bench them all.
It was bad. But who you got at your running backs?
My high running back this week is, unfortunately, David Montgomery versus the Green Bay Packers.
Is he even for sure playing?
Looks like he's on track to, last I saw. I think they had a bye.
Your high quarterback last week was Jameis Winston. How did he do?
Dude, yeah. I've been doing that lately. I've been writing so I used to not do this. That is not on me. If you follow my advice and you started Jameis Winston, you're an idiot. Fuck you. Because I called this
well, Mike said he'd have a good game.
I think we got Taysom Hill news of him starting on Wednesday or Thursday at the earliest. Where it was even hinted at or whatever, and this was a Monday recording. Jameis Winston would have been great anyways. But anyways, my high running back, I guess, with Montgomery, I thought he was on track to play coming off of the concussion. They had a bye week this week as well, so he was ready, should be ready to go. And he's been at practice. He's a full participant at practice today on Monday, so he should be good to go. This is not like me thinking David Montgomery's good. He's bad at the game of football, but so is the Packers defense against.
You're making a good argument. I might want to start him.
If you're starting David Montgomery, it's because he gets a ton of carries. So you're starting David Montgomery because he's going to get a ton of carries against a team that's not really that good at defending.
Their backup running back's a wide receiver.
Yeah, and that's kind of the other thing. They don't it's not like they have even Cohen. It's David Montgomery or bust. So I think David Montgomery will see probably 20 carries unless the Packers get out to a huge lead right away. And they're super. Actually, that's a good point I didn't write down too. They're not even sure who's going to start at quarterback this next week with both of those guys, Foles and the better one,
Trubisky.
Yeah, being hurt or dealing with whatever. So we'll see who starts, but I think this game will lean on David Montgomery. I think Montgomery's going to prove to not be good enough to win the game, but he'll be good enough to get you like 80 yards off like 24 carries or something. My low running back, I went with a group. I actually went with two groups in general today, which I don't normally do. But I went with the group of 49ers running backs versus the Rams in Week 12.
The group of them?
Yeah.
You're this year low. I was like, okay, I'm not listening to you.
Mostert might come back. If he's not there, it would probably be Jerick McKinnon, I think, right?
Kevin Coleman's supposed to come back,
supposedly. And Hasty's done, or not done, but he's out for a while.
Yeah.
I think he had a collarbone, so
he's got two.
I don't like the situation. The Rams are too good of a defense. The 49ers with Kyle Shanahan run the ball really well, but they're similar-ish to the Patriots where you're not really like sure who's going to be the guy. So I don't really want to play the game where I'm kind of guessing who's going to be the guy when the matchup is one of the worst you can get at this point in the year so far. So I wouldn't, if it's Mostert and he's like starting, maybe you start him and you just lower your expectations. I would try to avoid it. If it's not Mostert, I'd definitely avoid him.
Wide receiver, I'm high on my boy Justin Jefferson. We talked about him already today.
Awesome.
He's playing the Panthers, who give up a fair amount of pass yards. Cousins, actually, I'll say, Element, he looks pretty good lately.
Whoa!
He got his first Monday night win. I think that really juiced him up.
Are you feeling it? You don't have COVID.
I'm just looking at stats. I'm looking at stats, and he's been doing well. I don't like him by any means, but if I'm starting one of his wide receivers and my wide receiver does good because of him, great.
Sure.
I'm not going to start him, but I'll start his receivers.
Those situations are out there for sure.
Well, I also feel Justin Jefferson's going to have a big leg up now with no Thielen playing.
That's a really good point, yeah.
I'm hoping Thielen, because if Thielen doesn't play, I'm less on Jefferson.
I can see it going both ways.
Then what, they got to cover BB?
More targets for Jefferson probably if Thielen doesn't play, but
it's Cousins. He's going to force it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Jefferson's a huge part of why Cousins is playing well. He could not have been a better replacement for Diggs, really. I think that's a great replacement for Diggs. Panthers won't know if Thielen plays, they won't really know what to do in regards to Jefferson. I feel like it's like that a lot of the times. Like, he's a rookie, but he's demanding attention already with the numbers he's putting up. But then you see Thielen making grabs like he did the other night.
One hand to one in the
he was
corner.
making so nice grabs, and so you obviously can't ignore him at all. But I expect a high-scoring game out of it with lots of people getting involved in that Vikings-Panthers. That's actually a matchup I'm looking forward to watching. I don't know why, but I'm really liking the Panthers this year, even though they have like a losing record. I get it. I just like watching the Panthers.
I agree with that because it's cool to see Teddy Bridgewater back in action. I like seeing DJ Moore just because he's on my team. Robbie Anderson being like a surprise, not a surprise, but kind of a surprise for
not for me. I knew he was. I love Robbie Anderson.
He's more involved than I thought he would be, but it doesn't shock me. If
you see Robbie Anderson do this when he leaves the Jets, imagine Jamison Crowder off the Jets.
They got Gaced.
Jamison Crowder on the Jets would be amazing.
Jamison Crowder is on the Jets.
Not on the Jets.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
I don't know if I'm low on Allen Robinson from the Bears. They've got their first matchup of the season against the Packers this week. They play them again the final week of the season.
Yep.
All the Packers have to do is shut down Allen Robinson, and they easily win. Like, that's the only threat.
They should, because I think Jair's coming back this week.
That's what I was just looking at because he's missed a couple.
Yeah, he's expected to come back this week.
Bears are so banged up right now. They don't know who's starting at quarterback. They have their running back come back, but that's not even saying much because he's not even that good. Packers won't need to worry about the run game. Who knows what's going to happen at the quarterback? It's not going to matter. The Packers shut down Allen Robinson. That's the game.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. David David Montgomery will be good enough to get you enough points in your fantasy league if he plays. It's not going to be good enough to win the game.
It'd be great. This would be great if this game came down to Jimmy Graham dropping a touchdown. That is every Packers fan's dream. Is this game is lost because Jimmy Graham drops a touchdown.
The only thing that would be better if we won it because MBS catches a touchdown.
Oh, God. I don't think anyone will.
Maybe he'll fumble it into Devontae Adams.
He'll be run out of town by the time this game happens.
Oh, man. All right, my high receiver this week is Sterling Shepard versus the Bengals. Recall my fact/stat. The Bengals do not have the greatest defense against wide receivers.
So I should start Darius Slayton, too?
You should, yeah, and whoever the third guy is, if Golden Tate's playing. No, I mean, the Giants
if he stops running his mouth.
The Giants clearly aren't the Steelers. They have less legitimate offensive weapons, obviously.
Wait, they're different teams?
Yeah, and one is better than the other. Do you know which one? Steelers or Giants?
I don't know. They could both make playoffs.
That's true. So the Steelers, like the the Giants aren't going to have 3 top 12 wide receivers, but they also don't have 3 players capable of doing that. I don't know if Sterling Shepard's going to be a top 12 receiver, but I think he's going to get enough work against a really vulnerable defense to have a good game. I think he's going to eat. I have my other group.
Eat?
Yeah, he's going to eat fantasy points. Nom, 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 nom. That was really weird looking. Anyways, it's going to move on. You can't see us. Pointing at you. My low...
They disagree.
Looks like I was eating dicks. My low receiver is another group, kind of like a partial group. I'm just going to be low on Green Bay Packers receivers that aren't Adams. You're obviously going to start Adams. If you're thinking about starting Lazard or MVS, if either,
I'm going to be low on all of them except for the best one.
I'm low on. I feel like people would consider starting maybe one of those guys. Lazard coming back. He was back last week, but he wasn't as involved. Like it makes sense where the guy comes back from injury, he's kind of involved, but then the week afterwards he's like fully back in the game. But it's still a matchup against the Bears. MVS can suck one. I wrote. Lazard being easy, but yeah, I don't think you want to start either of these guys. I don't think anyone would start MVS, but just if someone's out there considering starting Lazard, you should not start him. I think he'll be probably back in the full swing of like how involved he is in the offense, but I don't think it's just the matchup is
the Packers don't need to use him right now in this season or in this game specifically because they're all but locked up that division for the most part. And they're not going to risk a re-injury when he could be huge come playoff time. I feel like he'll just get him a little involved in the games now so you can use him later.
Yeah. I totally agree. I think the Bears are just going to shut down.
The less they use him now, the less scouting other teams have for Lazard.
That's true.
Come playoffs. Tight ends, high on Hunter Henry, because I feel like Herbert and Henry are getting on the same page now. I looked it up, and it's pretty consistent the number of targets that Henry's getting, but it's also pretty consistent the number of incomplete passes towards him, which is something that, if that improves, that alone will make Hunter Henry be a top 5 easily. They have an okay matchup against the Bills, but if the Bills focus more on the receivers, Henry can be a weapon, and you obviously have to focus on Mike Williams and Keenan Allen.
Right.
So this is one where the Bills have enough that they can do decent coverage there, but then they also have Hunter Henry available. And tight ends are a crap shot this year, honestly, but in this one, I like the odds. Tight end, I just will never get over it. Like, tight ends have been climbing fantasy-wise, and then all of a sudden dropped. It's been
weird. Last year was kind of weird. This one's even weird.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest one if you have one of like the best 3 in the league. Yeah. Everyone else you don't know what you're getting at.
I got one of them.
Because at least last year, like, you had Kelsey, Kittle wasn't injured the whole time, and Mark Andrews was scoring more often than he wasn't.
Yep, and then you had Zach Ertz and Goddard both. Waller's always up
Waller
there.
Showed up, but now it's really just Kelsey. Like, Waller's your second best option.
Yep.
And Kittle's just hurt, unfortunately. And then this past week, if you had Taysom Hill in an ESPN thing specifically.
I think it's because some of the big ones, like how we were talking, Hooper and Hurst both switched up teams. They were both very much more relevant last year.
Yeah.
And I feel like that might have played in a little bit. It's weird. You don't see often where big name tight ends change teams. That's the position where like tight ends kind of are okay staying where they're at.
Well, like I've said on this podcast multiple times, that, like, tight ends usually take a little while to get acclimated. It's not very often at all that you see like a rookie tight end lighting up the scoreboard at all, especially for fantasy. And like I think it's because the position is just more complicated. You have these routes run, but you have these weird blocking schemes you have to understand as well. And so, if that's like a key reason for why like rookie or sophomore tight ends usually you see them come on a little later, well then switching teams would explain the same thing, right? Yeah. Where you have to figure out the nuances of the new offense.
I'm gonna be low on.
You can't. He scored a touchdown.
Mark Andrews.
You son of a bitch! He had almost 100 yards
from the Baltimore Ravens.
You make no sense.
Okay. I know he's been my low tight end like the past 5 weeks, and I was right 4 of those weeks. And I only picked him last week.
This is the 5th week, I think.
I only picked him last week because he has not proved me wrong, and he proved me wrong. But now he plays the Steelers. This one is actually like half to be funny, half because I didn't want to pick him last week, but I didn't have my notes ready.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and it was on a fly, and so I picked him last week. But he got shut down by Pittsburgh last time, and to be fair, I mean, it could easily happen again, and I feel like it will happen again. The Ravens, as a whole, have been sliding hard, and they play the undefeated Steelers once more. And, I mean, Last week, I even said he had a favorable matchup against the Titans.
If I go back and I listen to that, are you going to say something where, like, until he proves me wrong, and then he proved you wrong, but you still did it?
Yeah, but next week, he probably won't be my low because he's playing the Steelers, man. Because people are going to be hyped now. They're going to be like, oh, he's back.
I'm just curious where the Steelers have finished against tight end. It probably doesn't matter much because it's a good. Yeah, they've been like I like to look at like the last few games in case trends are changing, but they've been pretty stout still. My high tight end this week is actually a Packer, Robert Tonyan versus the Bears. The Bears have been really good against fantasy wide receivers and fantasy tight ends, but they've been pretty lackluster against quarterbacks. They've been pretty lackluster against fantasy tight ends.
Well, real tight ends.
The past, pretty bad as well.
Oh.
Presumably because that translates to fantasy points. In the past 5 weeks, the Bears have been the 6th best matchup for a tight end to play against. I'm low on the Packers receivers. I don't think Lazard or MBS is really going to contribute too much. Obviously, Adams will get his. But I think that's just going to mean it's another timing game for Rodgers with a really high, just good matchup. I also wrote a bonus down. If you can start Taysom Hill, start him. But it sounds like he's lost his tight end eligibility in.
Yeah.
So that's a bummer, but yeah. Enjoy
It's
it.
not a bummer. It's good. It's fair. What do you mean fair?
I guess as a quarterback now, but that makes sense. But you got to play the game. You know?
Yeah, ESPN said they're waiting to see what the designation is if Jameis gets called starter for this coming weekend now.
That makes sense. Interesting. Yeah, because this past week I started Kyler Murray, Derek Carr, and Taysom Hill at tight end.
But because Sean Payton said Taysom Hill will start this game and did not commit him to the entire time Breeze is out,
That makes sense.
ESPN is waiting to make the designation on him.
They did play the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Who do they play now?
Not the Falcons.
Yeah. Yep. Broncos.
Oh, I mean, harder, I guess.
It's a tougher defense.
Tougher matchup, I guess. But
all right. My low tight end this week is Noah Fant, Broncos tight end against the Saints. The Saints have been the best defensive unit against fantasy tight ends the last 5 weeks. Just in general, since their bye week in week 6, they turned it up. They were kind of disappointing. We were talking about it earlier as a defense. Not like that they were bad, but they weren't as good as we kind of.
They've gotten their shit together.
Yeah, they absolutely have. Their shit's all together. So Fant is a beast, but he's not going to do much against the best fantasy defense against tight ends. And this team being, quote, led by Drew Lock does not really speak well for someone. He's a good player. Fant's a great player, but I don't know if this year is his year. This week is definitely not his week.
Defenses, real quick. I'm high on the Saints versus Denver. Denver has not been looking good offensively at any point this year. And the Saints D are hot right now. They got 16, 11, and 17 fantasy points in their last 3 matchups. This one's really not any more difficult than those ones, so I expect pretty same results.
Nice.
And then we low on the Colts versus the Titans. I was low on the Colts last time they played the Titans, and I was wrong, but I wasn't really because all their points were from special teams. If you look back at the game, they had like the block kick that they returned. They'd like block the one punt from the Titans guy was punted to his own 30. It was a shank, and he just did terrible.
Sideways.
And so I don't put a lot of it on the on that.
Yeah,
it was a strange game, but the Titans are going to be bad for revenge in this game. I feel like they've gotten themselves figured out again, and I don't want the Colts to win that division. So I just got to believe that the Titans win this game and their defense shows up hard. The Colts cannot win that division. Please do not let that happen.
I guess I hadn't thought about that division too much, but yeah, it's them or the Titans, right? But
they'll both make playoffs. I don't even want the Colts to make the playoffs. Screw you, P. Rivers.
Oh man! All right, we didn't have any of the same people at all, like in anywhere this week. My high defense this week is the Washington football team against the Dallas Cowboys. It's very similar. They're a great defense. It's a really struggling offense. Just put the football team in there. My low defense this week is the Buccaneers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bucs are pretty solid defense, but they're playing the Chiefs. I just don't think you should line them up against that matchup. You can find somebody better who's got a mad defense, but against a poor team. Look up who's playing the Jets. Play them.
That's what I did. That's what I did in fantasy this week, and I got 11 points out of the Chargers.
Yeah, Bucs are great. I have them on my dynasty team. I'm excited for a couple prime matchups as the year goes on, but I'm not starting this week. Also, I have the Steelers, so that helps too. But
Jake, is there anyone we didn't mention that you're either super pumped to start on any of your teams, or you're just avoiding on your teams?
I will say one that I have is Derek Carr, just because he's against the Falcons defense.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Because their defense is just not that great in general. Plus, with them, it seems to be a shootout no matter what.
Yeah. That's a good point.
He's just one that I have that I've written him out a couple times this year, so
He's been
stay
so weird
consistent
because
there.
it was like a few years ago he was like in the MVP race, and then after that, like he broke his leg or whatever, and after that he was like not good or whatever, and now he's like not even like low key playing pretty well this year.
He's still low key. Like nobody brings attention to him.
People are acknowledging
except himself. You see, he tweeted out that picture that like we'll get him next week. I don't know what the caption was, but it was just him on the bench angry. It always looks like he's wearing the eyeliner, so it just accentuates the anger.
He looks like Sid from Toy Story.
Yeah,
I feel like people have been slightly like I am right now. Like I'm acknowledging how that he's been playing well, but even then, I feel like I'm still selling him short. You know what I mean?
I liked him a lot this year.
Consensus.
He's been looking really good.
Yeah, and without those rookie receivers, like I expected a lot of Brian Edwards. Ruggs has been here or there. He's kind of that deep guy, but they've been playing really well.
They've got they're consistently okay amongst their receivers, like between Renfro and Aguilar and Ruggs and Edwards
and then you have
and Waller.
Yeah.
But they're no one's busting out as the clear number one in any case. But they're all getting their moments.
They all have their roles.
Yeah.
And
it's working. It's working. Josh Jacobs is the guy who just kind of does what he needs to do, and that helps the others not have to have one guy who steps up. I like the Raiders this year.
And their defense has been it's not like they've been great or anything, but correct me if I'm wrong. Last year they were if you saw a matchup against the Raiders, you were like, oh fuck yeah, I want to play my guy then.
Right.
You know? This year is not it's not like it's a bad matchup, but their defense has definitely stepped up a little bit too. Low key, I don't know what else they would have. I don't know what they did that really changed.
Right.
I don't think anything notable. Yeah.
The only other one I kind of was iffy on was Akers against the 49ers. The Rams still seem to not know what to do with running back. Obviously, they play tonight, so we might have a little more clarity, but they've been trying to get Akers more involved again now, as we're going along. And, I mean, the 49ers defense is half there because half of them are injured. So.
I feel like as long as the Rams still have that wild card spot very available to them, they're not going to lean on one specific running back because it's been working for them what they've been doing.
If you're an Akers.
So it's one thing if they're out of playoff contention, okay, let's get the rookie Akers involved. Let's get him all these carries and stuff. It's okay, we don't really know what we're doing at running back, but we're sitting at 6-3 right now.
Right.
Let's just keep not knowing what we're doing at running back, I guess.
Darrell Henderson have been playing. It's not the same as Swift and Peterson and Carrion, you know what I mean? They've all been.
They're all young guys, and they're all capable of putting together an okay game.
Right. They're all pretty. I think they're all in the rookie contract.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah.
Brown probably is the oldest for most season.
And then I would throw in at receiver. The only other one I was looking at was Fuller against the Lions. Like you said, with Cobb possibly out, I think that's just more targets for Fuller now.
Yeah, and if anything,
turkey.
Him or Cooks, one of them is going to have a huge game, the other's not. And I don't know which one it's going to be.
I hope it's Cooks. I think
honestly, it's on the defense. They're taking a gamble. Which guy? Because if all you have is. No, they don't even have Slay. Slay's on the.
That's what I mean. They don't.
Eagles.
They don't have that lockdown corner anymore.
So yeah, okay. I could see both of them having good days then. But yeah, Mike, give us your prop lock of the week.
Yeah. All right. So as always, we're talking prop lock of the week for you with our friends from Thrive Fantasy.
I want to be 30 and flirty and thriving.
Do you like tennis? Because I got a layup for you that's going to hoist you the Stanley Trophy here. We're looking at Justin Herbert in Sunday's contest, over or under of 24.5 completions. The over is going to get you 105 points, as the under getting you 95. This is super simple. He's gotten over 24 completions each of the last 5 games. He now plays the Buffalo Bills, who are kind of a poor defense against quarterbacks and receivers, or the passing game in general right now. He is going to put up a bunch of points. He's going to easily, yet again, eclipse the 25 completion. And the offense is pretty good, so they'll keep this game competitive. I think Justin Herbert's going to have to continue to throw the ball. I'm not sure of the Eckler status as of right now. I think he's been back at practice or something. That only helps him, as we talked about before, especially if you're talking about getting a number of completions. You could see 5-6 dump-offs to Eckler to make up a quarter of the completions that Herbert needs right there to win you this over or under. So go ahead, grab Justin Herbert as one of your 10 picks in your Sunday Thrive Fantasy contest this week. Make sure you sign up using code FANTASYBREWS so that you get a free $20 added to your account when you make your first deposit of $20 or more.
Yep. Let's move on to our Pro Bowl selections. Why don't you on this screen bring up NFL.com so you can kind of see the stuff I looked at. You guys chose from each conference. NFL.com just lets you pick any mix of them, 6 at each position. We're going to do the fantasy relevant positions, of course. So mine necessarily aren't by conference. I just did as a whole.
I see. Gotcha.
So starting at QB, of course, I think there's the ones we can all 100% agree on. Mahomes, everyone has.
Yes.
Yep.
Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Kyler Murray.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, and I think these last two are the ones that we could have differing opinions on.
And Jake and I are both going to have 2 AFC guys here.
Yes.
Okay. I threw in Big Ben.
Oh, okay.
I think
And he's an AFC guy.
he's brought the Steelers to 10-0, and look at his stats. He is limiting those interceptions as well.
Sure.
I can't bring up the stats because my internet's still not working.
Fix your fucking internet.
I'm right, your house, asshole. So, Big Ben this year, overall, look at his 2020 stats. 24 touchdowns, 5 picks, looks like about 2,500 yards. He's brought his team to 10-0, and I think that's big enough for me to get him in that Pro Bowl. I mean, if somebody's voting, it can't be all stats. It's got to be situational. Like, you're up 30, what were they up on the Browns? Freaking 30-7? You're not going to be tossing with Big Ben to pad his stats. They're the only undefeated team, and it's because Big Ben gets in that lead early and they can coast. So I threw one in for Big Ben. Who's one you guys threw in?
I can see that. I threw in Josh Allen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I considered Allen. He's my next up.
Sure.
Well, I got two main next ups.
I think we
I
all
didn't include.
might have the last one.
I hope not.
Well, my last one was Tom Brady.
Oh.
I think he's putting together. Before that Saints game, he was in the MVP talks.
Yeah.
And that Saints game, yeah, he did bad, but then the next week he stepped it back up, and we don't know how he's doing tonight, but he's got a tough matchup tonight, so this will really determine it. I feel like this will be a huge one, but I gave Brady that last spot. My other one on the fence was Deshaun Watson, purely because he's doing everything himself.
Yeah, sounds like that was our third guy.
So I actually, until this past weekend happened, I had Joe Burrow.
Oh, sure.
Really?
Yes.
That doesn't shock me at all.
Strictly,
He's
like,
on the screen.
yeah, the amount of yards he's put up, the stats he's put up with a semi-decent offense.
If you're talking about
He's only got
situational,
13 passing touchdowns.
Yeah, but he throws 1,000 times a game.
So why are there more touchdowns?
if you're taking into
Where are the touchdowns, Jake? Where are the touchdowns?
I feel like if you're taking into account situations, then you should take into account that he's a rookie doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay, then take into effect their 3-6-1 record.
Taken.
Yeah, it's still Pro Bowl though. It's going fan votes also. So if you take
That's
that into
true.
account,
Yeah. Did you see the fan vote? The fans are everyone's. Jaguars fans are getting everyone to vote for that defensive guy who went to the Vikings and the Vikings
Ngakou.
traded him.
Oh, yeah.
Ngakou, because if he gets selected to the Pro Bowl, the Jags pick from the Vikings goes from a 5th rounder to a 4th rounder.
yep.
So Vikings fans are posting in chat rooms to Packers, Bears, and Lions fans like, "Oh, help us out, because then the Vikings will get a worse pick. The Vikings will get screwed more." And so I thought it was
I
hilarious.
can get on board with that.
So
my last guy in the I went by AFC NFC. I think Tom Brady might have edged out Allen or Watson for me if I had done what I did, but I went 3 from each conference. So Josh Allen, and then Deshaun Watson was my third quarterback for the AFC.
yeah, I just wish he had a better position. Deshaun Watson, I don't want to see his career waste, and I feel like the Texans can turn it around in a year or two. They're a team that they're not rebuilding. They could turn it around next year.
I mean, if we're talking about bad records, the Texans have an awful record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They turned it around as soon as like O'Brien was gone.
It's
though.
so weird because
Once they could figure it out, Watson could just kind of do what he wanted.
Yeah. I did not expect that much of a positive change. That was cool to see.
So we had the main 4 that everyone's in agreement on.
Figured that.
Then I threw in Brady and Roethlisberger at the end.
So just off the quarterbacks, quick, what do you guys is like MVP voting right now after yesterday's games? Obviously,
after yesterday's games, I still have Mahomes and Rodgers as a tie.
Okay.
As of right now, Wilson, I don't think he's had a couple of bad games that have really put him down for me. I want Kyler to win it, and I feel like it's in the talk still. It's going to come down to Mahomes, Rodgers, and Murray.
I think for me, after yesterday, when Rodgers did not have a crazy great game against whoever, I think it was the Colts, but I'm probably like 1A, 1B with Mahomes as the 1A. I think Rodgers is a close second. Murray and Russell both had a mediocre Thursday. Otherwise, Kyler would probably be a little higher up for me as well. I don't think Josh Allen or Deshaun Watson are doing enough at the moment to like really, really creep up into that conversation. Probably Watson over Allen, even though I put Allen above Watson in my predictions. But
Murray's got a good chance at like. I mean, he's going to have to. There's going to be the Chiefs who are sitting at they're 9-1 right now. Maybe it comes down to the last couple of weeks where the Cardinals are still fighting for a wild card spot and they need to get that seed or whatever. Whereas the Chiefs have already secured a spot, might affect a little bit how they play and all that stuff. Murray's got more difficult matchups against the Seahawks. Well, I mean, maybe not as a defense. Okay. I was thinking as a team. As a team,
absolutely.
But like even the Rams as well.
Sure.
That's a tough defensive matchup. And the Niners still, you can never count them out. Their defense is all they have at this point, and they're missing one of their best guys. So Kyler's got difficult matchups. Mahomes has a lot easier against the defenses that he's playing, but it'll be fun to watch regardless.
For sure.
Running backs. I think this one's pretty obvious what we can agree on for the most part.
Oh, yeah.
So we all got Henry.
Yep.
We all got Cook.
Yep.
We all got Kamara.
Yep.
We all got Jones.
Yep.
All right, these last two.
We're back to 2 AFC guys again.
2 AFC guys for us.
Yeah.
You got 2 AFC guys?
Josh Jacobs.
That's what I took.
Yeah.
And then I gave it to Robinson.
I gave it to Robinson.
Yeah! All right. We all got our top 6 running back. And I didn't even do conference. I wasn't even doing conference. I was just, Robinson, you go on, you were going to give it to Burrow because he's giving these stats as a rookie. Robinson is 3rd in the league in rush yards.
Yeah. I did not know that. That was shocking to me.
Yeah.
And I think he is the only light on that offense. Even like, I don't want to say DJ Chark's wasting his career already, but
they get a good. Like if they did sign Trevor Lawrence, let's just theorize for a minute.
I'm just curious if DJ Chark's gonna be like the same thing as D.D. Westbrook. Like Westbrook had his big like breakout year last year, and they're like, "Oh, he's the guy."
Or is he gonna be the same as Allen Robinson?
And then
that's fair too.
That you eventually leave, or Allen Hurns.
Oh man, I used to be a huge fan of Hurns.
It really is.
On the Cowboys? Question mark? No, Dolphins.
I don't even know.
Is Hurns on the Dolphins?
Because it was Hurns and Robinson were like the Jaguars' go-tos, and they were both gone. And they're like, well, that team is
Hurns is
gone.
on the Dolphins?
He's on the Dolphins, yeah. But he was on the Cowboys.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
He opted out this year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's why he's not doing anything.
Quite literally.
But I'm glad we're all on the same page. Looking at it, Kamara and Jones are both down there in rush yards, but it's because of their receiving.
Kamara does everything.
Wait. When you said Jones.
Aaron.
Okay. You meant Aaron too, right?
Yeah, what other Jones you looking at?
Ronald Jones.
Oh, did you mean Ronald Jones?
No, I meant Aaron Jones.
I didn't mean Ronald Jones.
I meant Aaron Jones.
I just realized that I wanted to confirm.
Yeah, he is up there.
We probably would have confirmed it if it was Ronald. I think everyone assumes Aaron when you say Jones.
Yeah, but I mean, Cook and Henry are miles ahead of everyone else.
That's crazy.
Henry right now standing at 1,079 and Cook on 1,069 on the year. Note he's missed a game. Did he miss a game or two?
I thought just the one.
Just the one?
Maybe there's one.
But then the third is 762, so more than 300 yards behind number 2.
I will say those stats surprise me, with Henry having, obviously, A.J. Brown and Corey Davis, and then Dalvin Cook having Thielen and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
But they both have quarterbacks who aren't huge, like, they're going to ball out, guys. They're both quarterbacks where they have their days where they lean on the running backs, and they have their days where they actually do well.
It makes me wonder what Zeke would be doing right now, because based on that, he had Dak Prescott, and their receiving core is so great. Like, is it a situation where he just was on?
Well, yeah, because they don't have to worry about the quarterback.
Yeah,
exactly.
He got so much worse after Dak was gone.
Right, that makes sense. It's just a bummer.
But yeah, we're all on the same page with running backs. I feel like it's kind of obvious. A lot of running backs have been.
Obvious.
hard this year as far as injuries happening and just like people not doing anything. But
I traded James Robinson to Jake in our Dynasty League really early on.
Yes,
and
you did.
it really pained me to write his name down.
you traded me Derrick Henry 2 years ago. Remember that one?
I traded Fournette to somebody. That worked out.
Yeah.
Depends what you got out of it.
Yeah, good work on that
That's
one.
a good point.
Possibly.
That's what I got. I have to look at that.
Wide receivers.
I took 8 this time because
I also took 8. I took
they
4 and
select-
4.
Well, if you bring it up, I'll pick 2 more.
Okay.
So the obvious ones: Hopkins,
Yes.
Yes.
Diggs,
Yes.
Adams.
Yes. Wait. Oh yeah. Duh.
Yeah. Oh, Devontae, the only Adams.
Did I the Packer fan?
Okay, well, if I'm picking 2 more, I'm going to pick the guy I cut out, and I'm going to pick.
So we are 3 in.
Yes. And what is your split, by the way? NFC.
Did you do? Yeah. Did
So
you do half and
curiosity.
half or no?
I don't know, and I don't want to think about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Too much thinking.
We covered Diggs, Adams, and Hopkins.
Diggs,
Yes.
Adams, Hopkins. I also picked Tyreek Hill.
I did too.
Yes.
He's got 10 touchdowns on the year. That's enough. I mean, he's still top 10 in yardage, but the touchdowns make it that much more.
When he's not the leader is Hopkins with 912 and Tyreek Hill is 752. He's not like for that 1 to 9. It's not like it's that huge of a gap.
I also took DK Metcalf.
I did too.
Yes.
DK Metcalf is, I mean, yardage and touchdowns. He's up there. He's a beast. I took my other one that I selected before I added the 2. I took Adam Thielen because
I thought about it, but I didn't take it.
how many touchdowns he have?
Well,
he's got 11 touchdowns.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what.
Holy,
That,
I
right
don't
there.
have Adam Thielen anywhere.
I don't
clearly.
either.
I took
Holy
Adam
crap.
Thielen because he's got 11 touchdowns on the year.
What did
and-
that one-handed touchdown come for? Like 5?
Yeah, that was bonus points.
Yeah, it must have been.
But I mean,
That's crazy.
who's one of the next that you guys?
So what do we?
I have 1 AFC left, 2 NFC left.
We've all got Hopkins, Diggs, Hills, Adams, Metcalf.
I have 1 NFC left and 2 AFC left. So do your. Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
I got all NFC. I got 2 more NFCs.
Let's start there. My last NFC guy is Terry McLaurin.
I added Terry McLaurin right there. I didn't add him originally because he's only got the 3 touchdowns. He's got a decent amount of yardage, but still, I also didn't add him because it doesn't take much to be good on that, to be like the big part of that team.
My last
They don't have any
NFC
other options.
was actually Justin Jefferson.
I got Justin Jefferson as
I
my
thought
other
about
right-in
it.
guy. I got Justin Jefferson as well because you got to weigh in the rookie. He's up there. He's top 6. He's number 6 in yardage right now without the game happening, Monday night game here. But I threw Justin Jefferson in there as well on this last pick.
Just real quick for Terry McLaurin, my thought process was 3rd in receiving yards on the Washington football team. Like he's on a poor team, but to be able to put up those numbers, like you hope he finds the end zone a little more, but to be able to put up the numbers he has on that team, I thought.
Well, if you were playing those defenses 6 times a year, you could probably put up good numbers.
That's a fair point.
Who else is the one that we did not pick and you had?
So you have 1 more AFC guy, right?
Yeah, I have technically 2 AFC guys.
Okay, I have 2 more as well.
Okay.
I put Keenan Allen.
Yep.
Nice.
He would have been my reserve. It was a toss between him and Jefferson, but I think what Jefferson's doing is it's awesome.
And I put I think I was a little biased on this, but I put a rookie AFC receiver.
I did not. So you went T. Higgins.
I went Claypool.
Oh.
I went Chase Claypool. And he's coming out more recently. He's not really on this list that we're looking at. He's always way down at the bottom. He's got 8 touchdowns on the year. I assume that's all together and not just receiving. But I think he's going to have a strong finish. I think he really came on. Like, he wasn't really doing anything the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season or whatever, but he's really come on since then.
So Jake and I were mostly on the same page. I think the only thing we had different was I had Thielen and you had
Wow.
Keenan?
Jefferson?
No, I had Jefferson.
Did you have 4 NFC and 4 AFC?
Wait, who did you have that wasn't Thielen?
My NFC was Devontae, Metcalf, Jefferson, Hopkins.
Yeah.
My AFC was Keenan Allen,
Allen.
Hill,
So Allen's the one, yeah.
Diggs, and my last one, I actually put Will Fuller.
Did you?
Oh, sure. Yeah, he popped in my mind.
He's got, I mean, the yards and obviously the touchdowns, and I also kind of compared it to, like, last season. Like, he went from, like, the 3rd receiver on their team last year to, like, Hopkins is gone, and he became that guy that people didn't think he was going to be able to do, so...
Yeah, coming into the year, we talked about before on the show, as you've heard, like, it was kind of like, is it Cooks or is it Fuller? And
Yeah.
I was leaning Fuller myself for that because he's such familiarity with the team and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I think he stepped up for sure.
I think it's also staying healthy because he had not been able to do that for so long that I think now that he can, it's been different for him.
Absolutely.
So we're on most of the same pages for wide receivers. Tight ends.
This is going to be all over.
I only picked 2 from each conference.
I took 2 from.
I got 6 total. Just
Wow,
doing what I'd see what NFL did. NFL just like 6.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys just put 2, it's pretty obvious.
Yep. Okay. Well,
There's Kelsey.
Go AFC because I think AFC is going to be the most obvious.
Kelsey Waller.
Yep.
Man, I wanted to put Andrews so bad. He would have been my third. But
I have Andrews in mind because I have 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
He would have been my third.
NFC, Hawkinson.
Taysom Hill.
I do have Hawkinson.
I do have Hawkinson too. 3, 2, 1. Kittle.
You included Kittle?
I put Kittle.
I did not.
Well, he can't because he won't be able to play.
He can probably play Madden still.
Bowl?
Okay, well, I guess if they're doing Madden, yeah, but
I
my thought was
because he's hurt.
Yeah, but
Is he
Kittle's
coming
like
back?
Look at
I guess I forgot I for some reason thought he was out for the season. I just figured that I just wrote the Niners
he's just
off.
on IR right now.
I just wrote the Niners off.
I still actually do have 2 tight ends still because one of them I was questioning.
I gave one to Tanyan.
I wanted to.
I did not. I did.
And
I wanted to, but I felt like.
And then my last one since I chose 6 was Jonnu.
Oh, so seeing as mine are both NFCs, I actually took Jimmy Graham.
Strictly, I didn't want. I just didn't want
touchdowns
to.
alone because that's pretty much all he does.
Yeah.
And my other one, which you're gonna love because you're wearing it, was Gronk. Because I feel like Gronk is finally like. I mean, he's not what he obviously used to be, but I think he's being what they're expecting him to do this year. And I think he took over, obviously, for like O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate. Like, he's becoming the tight end they thought they were getting when they got Gronk.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to throw out, Kittle has the 3rd most yards.
Yes, he does.
Of all tight ends.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what I mean. I knew tight ends was going to be just kind of a toss-up, especially NFC-wise. Like, AFC, obviously, we all were instantly agreed on.
And even the 3rd with Andrews would be pretty obvious, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was an interesting one. TJ Hawkinson was mine. And I've ranked them when I did mine as well, and TJ Hawkinson was the top for NFC.
Did you guys pick kickers?
I picked fullbacks.
You picked fullbacks, but not kickers?
I picked Patrick Ricard from the Ravens, and I picked Kyle Juszczyk from the 49ers. And I picked kickers and anything else.
Well, I picked kickers.
Tell us about your kickers.
Yeah, who do you got for kickers?
I got Koo.
Young Ho.
Yeah.
I got Blankenship.
Well, yeah.
You picked an NFC AFC.
God, look at you. You gotta go God with Magoo, though.
I got me some Jason Sanders.
How many kickers?
Dolphins.
I was gonna say it's also Dolphins.
That's your pick 6 on NFL.com.
Pick 6 of every
We picked
position.
them based on how many people actually make the Pro Bowl.
I picked Daniel Carlson.
Smart.
Sure.
I picked our boy Justin Tucker.
I can't even pick.
You had to.
And I picked Will Lutz.
That's fair.
Because
you went 2 NFC, 4 AFC.
Because they're kickers and it doesn't matter.
That's fair.
I like it.
They don't matter.
Okay, well, we'll see. I'm
Bass.
Tyler Bass.
For the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, he was
Have you
drilling
seen
them.
his stats
He was
lately?
drilling them the other day.
I
Was it against Seahawks where he was hitting the 50-yarders?
Yes.
I should have
He had, what, 2 or 3?
I want to say 3. You should. I would definitely say look up his stats.
Bass has been killing it, dude.
He came in as one of those names that nobody knows, and his stats are impressive for a kicker.
You're right. This past week, he made a 54, 55, and a 58-yard.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty good.
Damn.
But yeah, I'm excited to see. I mean, I don't know if I'm excited depending on what they do, but I'm interested in to see what they're doing for the Pro Bowl.
Sure.
I hope it's more than just them playing Madden, because if we've learned anything, they're not actually good at playing Madden. They just think they are.
Yeah.
Which we were kind of excited for.
We watched a few of the things that they do.
What was that we were watching?
I don't even remember.
It was like a Madden tournament.
Oh, like the Madden Championship and stuff like that when the game first comes out.
Well, no, what we were watching, we saw a little bit of that, but we were watching something where it was like a 8-person or 16-person tournament of all NFL players playing against each other, and it was just weird. Like Tyreek Hill played, but he didn't talk or show his face at all. And,
they had a lot of technical difficulties.
Yeah, Deshaun Jackson auto won his first matchup, or no, he had to play the computer.
Oh, and he lost.
Yeah,
but he advanced because it was against the computer.
Yeah, his opponent, whoever it was, didn't even show up or had technical.
So we're hoping the Pro Bowl is better than that. Let's go and let's do a Bruce Clues. We're doing the special edition where Jake has created his own, and Mike and I are both going to guess based off of it. We haven't done this before, but now only one of us can get points. Well, no, I lied. We both can get points. The point system is the same, but if one person gets it before the other, it's done.
So Oh, okay. I was going to say, are we showing Jake ours secretly each time?
No.
Or?
Yeah, I was just going to say, okay.
No, I think it's either we both get it, neither of us get it, or one of us get it.
So, like, if you guess it on the first guess and I'm wrong, we're done.
Yes.
Cool. That's what's going to happen.
I've been killing it lately.
I noticed you have. So I also went super. I tried to make.
Wait, can you bring up the teams?
I tried to make the first one a little harder so you don't get it right away because I know Kyle's got a lot of points on you.
But
so I'm looking out for you here,
luck.
Mike.
Thank you.
All right, give it to us.
But I know Kyle's big into social media, so he might get you on this one. So,
I don't follow. Honestly,
I'm not
with
even
our
in your
Twitter,
position or anything
with our
now.
Twitter, I don't follow players. It's just other fantasy people, so that's not a real
All right.
advantage.
So up until week 10, news just came out that this player currently held the record for most wins at a stadium other than his home field.
Interesting.
A specific stadium?
Yes.
But we're not being told that statement.
No, because that is a dead giveaway. So again, this player, news just came out that he held the record for most wins at a stadium other than his home stadium as of week 10.
Oh man, I don't know who's home and who's away.
It's interesting because I'm thinking of like Frank Gore, but like home stadium now would be the Jets, I guess. I feel like I should think of somebody more like who's been in the same place, I guess.
This is really hard. Until week 10.
I told you I wasn't.
Say it once more.
This player, up until week 10, had the record for the most wins at a stadium other than their home field.
Oh, I don't really feel like I have a good guess. I have one guess that I just don't really...
That's the only reason I said, because it's been talked about a lot like this past week.
Sure.
Because it recently happened the week before. That's why I said Kyle may have a leg up on this one.
Jake Lutt. He doesn't have a win, period.
Okay, we need answers.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Ben
PJ
Roethlisberger.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, get fucked!
I almost said that. I literally almost said that, and then I decided not to because I wanted to guess funny. Oh my god!
So,
I had Tom Brady written down for a while, and then I took it. Oh man!
up until week 10, when the Browns beat the Texans, Ben Roethlisberger had the most wins at the Cleveland Browns field.
That's it. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, okay, but this team had to have also been winning more recently. So the Browns have been winning more than they have in the past, and Baker Mayfield has more wins this season combined than like all Browns quarterbacks in the past 5 years.
Yeah, yeah, because no one consistently has played there. Ben Roethlisberger had like 11 wins or something.
That's what I was thinking. Because I was like, Joe in that division, not Joe Burrow. Obviously, it's not going to be Lamar Jackson in only his second starting year. Oh, fuck!
I don't know why I deviated from guessing
Is that
somebody
PJ
old.
Walker?
Yeah, why did I do that?
He literally only has one NFL start against the Lions.
I think I was interpreting it incorrectly.
You could not have had a worse guess. I don't think. You could have said Jake Luton. Actually,
I said Tom Brady earlier, and I scribbled it out, and my mind went to Roethlisberger for a minute. I don't know why I got away from somebody having a bunch of.
My others I was looking at was Breeze and Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, my next clue is going to be he's currently listed as the number 11 quarterback and has had at least 2 touchdowns in every game except one.
Okay.
And just because you guys looked at his stats recently, I was like, oh, you're going to get it right away.
Yeah.
All right, so even on a level playing field, I proved I'm better than Mike. I think everyone knew that. He chose the person who literally only has one career win. So in order for his to be true, that would have had to be the first ever game at that stadium.
I thought it was a percentage thing. He's got 100% win rate at this.
It didn't even say at the stadium. It says at their own field. So,
I was really doubting myself with but Tom Brady, but he's not now he's on the Bucs. How does that work? Like he has the most wins at Gillette Stadium.
I guess. But that's his Anyways.
I didn't guess him either. So.
Final notes. Jake, anything to add? Pull up the schedule for next week. We can give a look at what we will be watching.
Week 12.
Any final thoughts, Jake?
I think, honestly, with Thanksgiving coming up, I feel like Thursday is going to be like the way better day of football, even with just those 3 games. I mean, obviously the Cowboys football team game is kind of a throwaway, but I think both the other 2 games that night are going to be huge compared to kind of the weekend games almost.
I want to say I'm excited for the Titans-Colts, but I just don't like watching the Colts.
The Ravens-Steelers on Thanksgiving evening will be, they save the best game for last, at least.
Cardinals-Pats should actually be a good game. If anything, Pats are keeping games close. They may be losing the majority of them, but they're keeping them close.
Chiefs-Bucks will be a good game. Bears-Packers usually is a good game. Raiders-Falcons could be interesting, but Matt Ryan can go fuck himself.
Are you surprised by the Monday game? The Hawks-Eagles? Are you surprised they didn't flex that out?
I guess.
But it's hard to flex on Monday. It's one thing flexing a Sunday night game, but changing the day completely, that's harder to do. So I get it.
Well, yeah, there isn't a Sunday night game.
There's
Packers-Bears.
Oh, that's the late night game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, so like a couple weeks ago, there was like, it was half and half, like 6 noon games, 6 like afternoon games.
They do whatever they want, Michael.
There's literally 1, 2.
I think there's, I was gonna say, there's like 7 or 8.
8. Yeah, there's 8, and then only 3 afternoon games. What are they doing? Also, there's no bye weeks in week 12, but there's 2 bye weeks in week 13.
Was that expected or was that COVID stuff though?
I don't know why it would have been COVID.
Because the
Steelers was
Titans.
flax, the Titans was flax.
Were those two?
No, I think that was week like 7 and 8. I think those were week 7 and 8 if I remember right.
It has to be Thanksgiving. I don't know if that's a normal thing. I don't know. It just struck me as weird. I don't know.
Mike, your final thoughts?
Try to come up with a different game for next season than Bruce. So I have more
one that you might win.
You guys just want to listen to Kyle win Bruce. No, that's good.
I'm Packers Cardinals. Actually, I'm looking forward to watching that game. I might need to.
Packers Cardinals.
Patriots Cardinals. That's what I meant.
No,
if that's not on TV, I might need to steal the Sunday ticket for that game. For the most
I'm
part.
always fine to like just watch Red Zone.
Red Zone.
Yeah, so I'm down for that.
Other games, there's some weird matchups. Chiefs-Bucks should be pretty good. Bears-Packers, I am actually looking forward to that one.
They're usually pretty good games.
Who do you guys think starts for the Dolphins on Sunday?
Tua. They said
already
Tua.
said
Did they?
Tua. Oh, yeah,
I don't know why they
Tua.
pulled him. He wasn't even having a bad game. And they're just like hoping they could do what the Bears did that one time.
They're like, oh yeah, if we do that.
If we put in someone who's worse than the starter or equally as not amazing.
Coach Brian Flores, I think he just said that they just believed that at that point in time, the best chance they had to win was Fitzpatrick.
Which was weird because weren't they only down like a touchdown or like 10 points?
I don't think so.
They're down like 10. And look, he has...
he had like 83 yards and a touchdown because he's on my sleeper team.
Yeah,
I just don't get why. I don't get why they did that.
It was a weird benching. As much as I like Fitzpatrick,
I felt like it just didn't make sense.
Once that happened, like today I was thinking about, I was like, what if? Because I had this whole quandary of, do I start Matt Ryan or Ryan Tannehill or Tom Brady tonight?
Or
I should have gone with Ryan Tannehill. I went with Matt Ryan, but after today, I woke up with like, what if Ryan Fitzpatrick ended up doing? I didn't watch the end of that game, so I didn't know what he had done. I was wondering if the decision I should have made somehow was Ryan Fitzpatrick, but it was Ryan Tannehill or possibly Tom Brady tonight, but probably not.
Well, we got to go and watch the Bucks Rams game, so you can see yourself out.
Bye.
Bye.
I already told them to leave.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Fantasy Brews podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Fantasy Brews Pod. You can also follow us to download our episodes every week on any of your favorite podcasting services like Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Thanks again for listening. Have a beer for us on Sunday.